Are you constantly overwhelmed by long to-do lists, struggling to focus, wasting precious hours in procrastination? If yes, then Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy is the ultimate productivity guide you've been waiting for. In this powerful book, Tracy reveals a simple yet life-changing truth. If you want to be productive, eat your biggest, ugliest frog first. That frog? It's your most important, most challenging task, the one that moves your life and goals forward. In this full audiobook-style summary, we'll break down all 21 practical principles to help you beat procrastination once and for all, stay laser-focused on high-impact tasks, master your time, energy, and priorities, achieve more in less time with less stress. No fluff, no hype, just proven strategies that work, straight from one of the world's top productivity experts. Chapter 1. Set the table. Clarity is power. One of the very worst uses of time is to do something very well that need not be done at all. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Before you do anything, you need to be clear about what you want. Most people fail not because they lack talent or ambition, but because they're vague about their goals. This chapter emphasizes that clarity is the starting point of all high performance. You can't eat your frog, that big, important task, if you don't even know what the frog is. Key lesson: know exactly what you want. Brian Tracy explains that people who succeed at high levels tend to have absolute clarity about what they want, why they want it, and what steps they need to take next. He urges you to set clear, written goals. Why written? Because writing your goals down triggers the brain to focus and align your actions accordingly. Think on paper, he says. A person with clear, written goals will accomplish far more than someone with vague intentions and a long mental to-do list. 6 powerful steps to gain clarity. Tracy outlines 6 simple steps that will help you set your goals clearly and move forward with purpose. 1. Decide exactly what you want. Don't be vague. Don't say, "I want to be rich" or "I want to be successful." Define it. Be specific. Example: I want to earn $100,000 per year by December 31st. 2. Write it down. A goal that is not written down is just a wish. Putting it on paper turns it into something real and gives your brain a target to hit. 3. Set a deadline. Deadlines create urgency. Even if you don't hit the deadline, just having one motivates you to take action consistently. 4. Make a list of all the actions you need to take. Break your big goal into smaller, actionable steps. This makes it less overwhelming and more achievable. 5. Organize the list into a plan. Prioritize. What must happen first? What tasks depend on others? Plan your moves like a builder before construction begins. 6. Take action immediately. Once your plan is in place, act. Even small steps build momentum and send a signal to your mind. This is important. Repetition is reinforcement. Brian also recommends reviewing your goals daily, even rewriting them by hand. This isn't busy work. It reinforces clarity and keeps your goals top of mind. The clearer your destination, the faster you'll get there. Real-world insight. Think about high-achieving athletes, CEOs, or creators. They all start with a crystal-clear goal. Michael Phelps didn't train to swim better. He trained to win Olympic gold. Steve Jobs didn't aim to make good products. He aimed to put a powerful computer in everyone's hands. They weren't just busy, they were focused. Action step for you. Today, take 10 minutes to write down your top 3 goals for the next 90 days. Don't worry about making them perfect. Just make them clear, specific, and personal. Then, list the first step you can take for each, and do it. Chapter summary. Set the table. Clarity is the foundation of productivity. Write down your specific goals. Set deadlines and break your goals into steps. Take immediate action. Review your goals daily. The more precise your goals, the easier it is to identify your frog and eat it first thing in the morning. Chapter 2. Plan every day in advance. Action without planning is the cause of every failure. Every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. Brian Tracy. Main idea. One of the fastest ways to boost your productivity and reduce stress is to plan your day before it begins. In this chapter, Brian Tracy emphasizes that clarity in action starts with planning, and without it, most of your energy gets wasted on unimportant tasks. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. Then why try to build a productive day without a plan? Why planning matters. Most people jump into their day reacting to whatever comes their way. Emails, calls, notifications, interruptions. The result? At the end of the day, they feel exhausted, but accomplish very little of what actually mattered. Brian Tracy reminds us that every successful person is a skilled planner. They don't leave their day to chance. Instead, they invest just a few minutes to outline their priorities, and that small step often saves hours of wasted effort. Planning helps you stay focused on your most valuable tasks, avoid distractions and low-value work, start the day with purpose and confidence. How to plan your day. 5 simple steps. 1. Use a list. Start every day with a written list of what you need to do. Don't rely on your memory. Your brain is for thinking, not storing tasks. Whether it's digital or on paper, the key is to write everything down. 2. Plan the night before. Spend 10 minutes each evening to plan the next day. This lets your subconscious mind work on your tasks while you sleep, preparing ideas, solutions, and energy for the morning. 3. Use the ABCDE method. Brian introduces this powerful prioritization tool. A. Must do. Serious consequences if not done. This is your frog. B. Should do. Mild consequences if not done. C. Nice to do. No consequences. D. Delegate. Can someone else do it? E. Eliminate. Not worth doing at all. Never do a B or C task when there's an A still waiting. 4. Focus on the top 3 tasks. From your list, highlight the 3 most important tasks that will contribute the most to your goals. These should be your top focus. If you only completed those 3, your day would still be a success. 5. Break big tasks into steps. If a task seems overwhelming, it probably needs to be broken down. Divide it into smaller, actionable chunks. This reduces mental resistance and makes it easier to start. Avoid the trap of busyness. Being busy doesn't always mean being productive. Planning helps you avoid falling into the trap of doing easy or urgent things that feel satisfying but lead nowhere. The most valuable tasks often require thought, discipline, and delayed gratification, which is why they're often avoided. Don't confuse motion with progress. A day full of unchecked boxes on low-value tasks is still a wasted day. Real-world example. Imagine a pilot flying a commercial jet without a flight plan, relying on gut feeling mid-air. The result? Chaos, delays, maybe even disaster. Your day is no different. Without a flight plan, you're flying blind. Top CEOs, athletes, and creators block time for planning. They know that even 10 minutes of planning in the morning can prevent hours of confusion later. Action step for you. Tonight, before going to bed, write down your top 5 tasks for tomorrow. Use the ABCDE method to prioritize them. Then, in the morning, review that list and start your day by working on your A1, your biggest frog. Do this for 1 week. You'll notice more focus, more results, and less overwhelm. Chapter summary. Plan every day in advance. Start each day with a written list. Prioritize using the ABCDE method. Plan the night before for better results. Focus on your top 3 highest value tasks. Break large goals into actionable steps. Remember, a few minutes of planning can transform your productivity. and help you eat that frog with confidence. Chapter 3. Apply the 80-20 rule to everything. Focus on what really matters. 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. Brian Tracy. Main idea: time is your most valuable resource, and not all tasks are created equal. In this chapter, Brian Tracy introduces the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, to help you identify the few high-value tasks that create the biggest impact in your life and work. What is the 80-20 rule? The 80-20 rule says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. 80% of your income comes from 20% of your clients. 80% of your success comes from 20% of your activities. This rule isn't exact math. It's a principle of imbalance. The point is, a few things matter far more than the rest. Yet most people spend their time on low-value tasks because they're easier, more familiar, or more comfortable. Your frog is always in the top 20%. If you have a to-do list of 10 items, chances are only 2 of those tasks will contribute more to your goals than the other 8 combined. Those top 2 are your frogs, the hard, important tasks that bring real results. Tracy's advice is simple but powerful. Resist the temptation to clear small things first. Start with the big things that matter most. How to apply the 80-20 rule in real life. First, identify your most valuable tasks. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I do that contributes the most to my success? What tasks produce the highest results, income, or progress? Once you find that task, double down on it. Treat it like your priority. Second, let go of the trivial many. Low-value tasks often give you the illusion of productivity. Checking email, reorganizing folders, casual chats, these don't move the needle. Eliminate or delegate them wherever possible. Third, use the 80-20 rule daily. Review your to-do list each morning and highlight the top 20%, the few tasks that will produce 80% of your progress. Focus there. If you only complete those top tasks, your day is still a win. Fourth, ask the million-dollar question. Brian Tracy recommends you regularly ask, if I could do only one thing on this list, which one task would contribute the most to my goals? The answer is: start there. Avoid the busy trap. Being busy all day doesn't mean you're being effective. Many people fill their schedules with easy, low-impact work to avoid what really matters. It's not the number of things you do, but the importance of what you do that counts. Focusing on high-value tasks, even if they're uncomfortable, builds momentum, confidence, and real achievement. Real-world application. Let's say you run a small business. Making sales calls or pitching to big clients might feel intimidating, but they're your top 20% tasks. They bring the most revenue. On the other hand, spending hours designing the perfect logo or cleaning your office, that's the 80%. Low-impact tasks that don't drive results. Top performers, in business, sports, or any field, ruthlessly focus on their most valuable activities. Action step for you. Take your current to-do list and mark the top 2 tasks, the ones that will give you the biggest return. These are your frogs. Focus on those first tomorrow morning. Don't touch anything else until those are done. Make this a daily habit. Over time, your productivity will skyrocket. Not because you're working more, but because you're finally working on what matters. Chapter summary: apply the 80-20 rule. 20% of your actions produce 80% of your results. Identify and prioritize your most valuable tasks. Eliminate or delegate low-impact work. Focus daily on the few things that truly matter. By mastering this principle, you ensure that your time and energy go where they matter most, helping you eat your frog and move forward with purpose. Chapter 4. Consider the consequences. Think long-term, act today. Long-term thinking improves short-term decision-making. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Every task you do has consequences. Some big, some small. In this chapter, Brian Tracy teaches that the most productive people think long-term. They identify which tasks have the greatest future impact and make those their top priorities. If you want to succeed faster, you must learn to ask yourself, what are the potential consequences of doing or not doing this task? Why consequences matter more than urgency. Most people prioritize tasks based on urgency, not importance. They're constantly putting out fires, answering emails, or rushing to meet deadlines. But not all urgent things are important. Tracy says that the value of a task is directly related to its consequences. A task that affects your career, income, health, or happiness in the long run is far more valuable, even if it isn't urgent right now. Successful people have a habit of doing things today that create a better tomorrow. The power of long-term thinking. High achievers think in years, not minutes. They ask themselves, how will this action affect me 6 months from now? Will doing this help me grow, earn more, or build something meaningful? When you focus on long-term impact, your priorities shift. You start choosing harder, more meaningful tasks over easy wins because you see the bigger picture. How to use consequences to set priorities. 1. Ask, what's the impact? Whenever you look at your to-do list, ask yourself, what will happen if I do this? What will happen if I don't? Tasks with high future payoff deserve to be done first, even if they're not urgent. 2. Think in terms of opportunity cost. Every minute spent on a low-value task is a minute not spent on a high-impact one. By choosing one thing, you're automatically saying no to everything else. So choose wisely. 3. Focus on tasks that improve your future. Some examples of high-consequence tasks include learning a new skill, building key relationships, writing a proposal, working on your health, investing time in a long-term project. These tasks require discipline today, but they create massive payoff later. Discipline, the bridge between today and tomorrow. One of the biggest differences between average and successful people is their willingness to delay gratification. Tracy says, the ability to discipline yourself to do what you know you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not, is the key to success. The frog on your list is usually the task with the biggest future benefit, but also the most resistance. Eating that frog requires discipline, and it's worth it. Real-world example. Imagine 2 professionals. One spends their day responding to messages and attending low-priority meetings. The other spends 2 focused hours daily building a new skill or working on a project that will grow their income next year. Who will be further ahead after 6 months? The answer is obvious, and that's the power of consequence-based thinking. Action step for you. Review your current tasks. Pick one that might be tough now, but has high potential benefits in the future. Prioritize it for tomorrow morning, even if it's not urgent. Write down this question and keep it visible. What are the long-term consequences of this task? Let it guide your decisions every day. Chapter summary. Consider the consequences. The value of a task is based on its future impact. Urgency is not the same as importance. Long-term thinking leads to better short-term choices. Discipline yourself to do what matters most, even if it's uncomfortable. Start thinking like the person you want to become, and take actions today that lead you there. Chapter 5. Practice creative procrastination. Delay the unimportant. You can't do everything, but you can always choose what not to do. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Most people think procrastination is a bad habit, but Brian Tracy flips that idea. In this chapter, he introduces the concept of creative procrastination, intentionally delaying or ignoring tasks that are low value so you can focus on what really matters. Because you can't do everything, procrastinate on the right things. The truth about time. Time is limited. You'll never have time to do everything you want, but you'll always have time to do the most important things. Tracy makes it clear. The key to productivity isn't doing more. It's doing less of what doesn't matter. Everyone procrastinates, but top performers procrastinate strategically. They let go of the small stuff so they can focus on the big picture. 2 kinds of procrastination. 1. Passive procrastination, destructive. This is the type most people are familiar with. It's when you delay important tasks out of fear, laziness, or distraction. It leads to stress, guilt, and missed opportunities. 2. Creative procrastination, constructive. This is when you consciously choose to delay or eliminate low-value activities so you can invest your energy into high-impact work. It's not avoidance. It's smart prioritization. How to practice creative procrastination. 1. Identify time wasters. Look at your daily habits and ask, what am I doing that adds little or no value? Which tasks could be eliminated or automated? Common examples: unnecessary meetings, excessive scrolling, micromanaging, disorganized multitasking. 2. Use the 80-20 rule. Apply the 80-20 rule here again. 80% of what you do may contribute only 20% of your results. Start procrastinating permanently on that 80%. Focus your time on the few tasks that bring the most impact. 3. Say no more often. You don't need to say yes to every request, invite, or opportunity. Saying no to less important tasks is actually saying yes to your highest priorities. 2. Creative procrastination, constructive. This is when you consciously choose to delay or eliminate low-value activities so you can invest your energy into high-impact work. It's not avoidance, it's smart priority. Think in terms of trade-offs. Every minute you spend on something is a minute you're not spending on something else. That's the reality of time. So the question is, what am I willing to give up in order to get what I really want? If you're serious about your goals, you must let go of distractions, low-priority tasks, and trivial obligations. Real-world example. Picture 2 professionals. One says yes to every meeting, responds instantly to every message, and checks emails all day. The other filters all input, declines unnecessary requests, and blocks time for deep work. Who's going to grow faster? Who's more focused, less overwhelmed, and more respected? The answer is clear. The one who practices creative procrastination. Action step for you. Write down 3 things you're currently doing that don't really need to be done. Choose one and commit to stopping or delaying it starting today. Free that time to work on a high-impact task instead. Your frog. Chapter summary. Practice creative procrastination. You can't do everything, and that's okay. Procrastinate deliberately on low-value tasks. Focus your time and energy on what matters most. Say no to distractions so you can say yes to progress. By learning to procrastinate with intention, you take control of your time and your results. Chapter 6. Use the ABCDE method. Set clear priorities. Every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Not all tasks are created equal. In this chapter, Brian Tracy introduces a simple yet powerful tool, the ABCDE method, designed to help you sort your tasks by importance, not urgency, and stay focused on what truly matters. The secret to success isn't doing more things. It's doing the right things in the right order. What is the ABCDE method? It's a practical system for prioritizing your daily tasks before you start work. Here's how it works. A. Must do. Severe consequences. These are your most important tasks, your biggest frogs. If you don't complete these, there will be serious consequences. Examples: finishing a client project, attending a crucial meeting, paying a deadline-sensitive bill. You must do A tasks today. No excuses. B. Should do. Mild consequences. These are tasks that are important, but not critical. Not doing them might cause minor frustration or disappointment, but nothing major. Examples: returning a non-urgent call, replying to an email, sending a thank you note. Never work on a B task when an A task is unfinished. C. Nice to do. No consequences. These are pleasant or fun, but make no real difference to your goals. Examples: chatting with coworkers, browsing social media, check-in. Avoid these until all A and B tasks are complete. D. Delegate. These are tasks that need to be done, but not necessarily by you. Examples: scheduling meetings, data entry, admin work. If someone else can do it, 80% as well as you, delegate it. E. Eliminate. These are tasks you should stop doing entirely. They waste your time and distract you from your goals. Examples: endless scrolling, over-checking email, repeating low-value habits. Free up your energy by cutting out the E's. How to apply it daily. 1. Write down everything you need to do today. 2. Label each task with A, B, C, D, or E. 3. If you have more than one A task, rank them: A1, A2, A3. 4. Start immediately on A1 and don't stop until it's complete. This is your biggest frog of the day. Why this works? The ABCDE method forces you to think before acting. Most people are reactive. They do whatever's urgent, not what's important. But this system puts you in control. It replaces random activity with intentional action. When you focus on A1 first every morning, everything else flows more smoothly, and your stress decreases. Real-life example. Imagine a project manager who starts her day with a long list of 20 items. Without prioritization, she bounces from task to task, never finishing the one thing that truly matters. Now, imagine she uses the ABCDE method. She labels her top project as A1 and gives it her first 2 hours of deep focus. She finishes it by noon, and everything else feels easier. That's the power of clarity and order. Action step for you, tonight or first thing tomorrow. List all your to-dos. Apply the ABCDE method. Circle your A1 task. Commit to starting it first thing without delay. Do this daily, and you'll be shocked how much faster you move toward your goals. Chapter summary. Use the ABCDE method. Not all tasks are equal. Some matter far more than others. Label your tasks A, must do, to E, eliminate. Always start your day with your A1 task, your biggest frog. This method builds discipline, clarity, and results fast. Focus beats busyness, and clarity destroys overwhelm. Chapter 7. Focus on key result areas. Your weakest key result area sets the height of your performance. Brian Tracy. Main idea. To get more done and achieve your goals faster, you must identify and master the key result areas, KRAs, that directly affect your success. These are the essential activities that, when performed well, drive real progress. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things and doing them well. What are key result areas, KRAs? KRAs are the core responsibilities of your role, the few tasks that truly matter. They are the areas in which results, not just effort, are expected of you. For example, a salesperson's KRAs might include lead generation, cold calling, presenting offers, and closing deals. A manager's KRAs might involve team coordination, decision-making, strategy implementation, and progress tracking. A content creator's KRAs could include scripting and audience engagement. Here's the catch. Even if you're excellent in 4 areas, a weakness in just one can hold you back. The weakest link principle. Think of your performance like a chain. Each KRA is a link. The strength of the entire chain is determined by its weakest link. So, if you're poor at following up with clients, even if you're great at pitching, you'll lose opportunities. If you're slow at writing content, even if you're a great speaker, your channel growth suffers. Your job is to identify your weakest key area and work relentlessly to improve it. Self-honesty is crucial. Ask yourself, what is the one skill, if improved, that would have the greatest impact on my success? Which part of my role do I procrastinate on or feel less confident about? Where do I often receive feedback or criticism? Be honest. Improvement starts with awareness. How to improve your KRAs. 1. List your top 5 to 7 key result areas. If you're unsure, ask your manager or clients, what am I directly responsible for? 2. Score yourself in each area from 1 to 10. Where are you strong? Where are you weak? 3. Pick your lowest rated area. That's your frog, your focus area. 4. Create a daily habit to build that skill. Read a book or article on the topic. Watch training videos. Ask for feedback from someone more experienced. Practice that task first thing every morning. Improvement is a process. You don't have to become perfect overnight, but you must commit. Real-world example. Imagine 2 entrepreneurs. Both are talented, but one avoids finances and budgeting, a key result area for business success. The other actively improves her financial literacy. Within a year, the second business is thriving. Why? Because she strengthened her weakest link. She identified a critical area and mastered it. This mindset separates high performers from everyone else. Action step for you. Write down your top key responsibilities. Identify the area you're weakest in. Make a plan to improve that area every week. Revisit your KRAs regularly to stay on track. When you strengthen your weakest link, everything else gets stronger too. Chapter Summary. Focus on key result areas. Quote, your success depends on consistently performing well in a few essential tasks. Quote, identify your key result areas and evaluate your strengths and weaknesses. Focus on improving your weakest area to raise your overall performance. Quote, use this insight to work smarter, not harder. Master the few, and you'll accomplish the most. Chapter 8. The Law of 3. There are 3 core tasks that account for 90% of your value to your organization. Brian Tracy. Main idea. No matter what field you're in, there are typically 3 core activities that deliver the greatest results. What Brian Tracy calls the Law of 3. Your job is to identify those top 3 tasks, focus on them relentlessly, and delegate or minimize everything else. The 80-20 principle, upgraded. You've likely heard of the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Brian Tracy takes this concept even further. In most jobs, just 3 things produce 90% of your results: your income, your impact, your reputation. These tasks, use your core strengths, generate the most value, move the needle in your career or business. Everything else, it's noise. How to find your big 3. Ask yourself, 1. If I could only do one thing all day, what would have the greatest impact? 2. What do I do that creates the most value for others, clients, team, audience? 3. What am I paid or rewarded the most for doing? Write down everything you do in a typical week. Then, identify the 3 activities that matter most. That's your Law of 3. Example, a content creator. Imagine a YouTube creator. She does 12 different tasks: script writing, filming, editing, thumbnails, scheduling, replying to comments, researching, branding, marketing, analytics, monetization, and networking. But when she evaluates impact, she realizes 1. Writing powerful scripts. 2. Recording high-quality videos. 3. Promoting effectively. These 3 generate 90% of the channel's growth and revenue. The rest? Important, but not vital. She can automate, batch, or delegate them. The trap of busy work. Most people stay busy, but not productive. They check emails, tweak designs, attend low-value meetings, but avoid the hard, high-impact frogs that actually drive results. Why? Because those tasks are mentally demanding, creatively challenging, and emotionally uncomfortable. But that's where growth happens. Your tool, zero-based thinking. Brian Tracy recommends a tool called zero-based thinking. Knowing what I now know. If I had to start over, what would I do more of? What would I stop completely? This helps you see where you're wasting time and what deserves more of your focus. Apply this to projects, clients, tasks, partnerships, even habits. Cut what's no longer serving you and double down on what is. High performers do this differently. Top performers know their big 3 and protect time for them. They block out deep work hours, say no to distractions, measure results, not hours, let go of perfection in low-priority tasks. They're not superhuman, they're just ruthless about focus. Action steps. 1. List every task you do regularly. 2. Identify the 3 most valuable activities you perform. 3. Schedule daily time blocks for these big 3. 4. Use zero-based thinking to eliminate time wasters. 5. Revisit your big 3 monthly to stay aligned. Remember, if you spend more time on fewer things, you'll produce more than most people ever will. Chapter Summary. The Law of 3. 3 tasks likely generate most of your value. Identify them clearly, then focus on them consistently. Use zero-based thinking to clear space for what matters. High performance is less about doing more and more about doing what counts. Chapter 9. Prepare thoroughly before you begin. One of the best ways to overcome procrastination is to thoroughly prepare your workspace before starting a task. Brian Tracy. Main idea. The more prepared you are before starting any major task, the easier it is to focus and follow through. A clean, organized, and fully equipped environment removes friction, saves time, and gives you the confidence to dive into the job. No hesitation, no delay. Of why preparation matters. Most people don't start because they feel overwhelmed or uncertain, but in truth, they're just unprepared. Lack of preparation breeds confusion, frustration, excuses, and ultimately, procrastination. When you get everything ready up front, you remove the invisible obstacles that hold you back. The setup principle. Think of a painter before painting. They lay out brushes, mix colors, set up the canvas, cover the floor. Or a chef. They prep all ingredients. This is called mise en place before the cooking begins. The same applies to knowledge work. Before starting any big frog, whether it's a proposal, a business idea, a presentation, or a creative project, set the stage. Checklist: how to prepare effectively. Here's what preparation might include. 1. Clear your workspace. Remove clutter. A clean environment boosts focus. 2. Gather all tools and materials. Don't start writing only to realize your notes or references are missing. 3. Eliminate distractions. Turn off notifications, close unused tabs, silence your phone. 4. Create a plan of attack. Know what outcome you're aiming for. Break the job into chunks. 5. Get mentally ready. Sit down with intention. Tell yourself, This is what I'm doing. Avoid the stop-start cycle. Every time you pause to find a file, search for notes, or check your phone, you lose momentum. Your brain takes time to refocus after every interruption. Proper preparation allows for deep work, uninterrupted focus, which is when your best results are produced. Real-world example: video creator. A YouTuber planning to record a video doesn't just hit record. She charges her equipment, writes her script, sets up lighting, chooses wardrobe, adjusts background and mic settings. Why? Because when she's prepared, the filming flows. No awkward interruptions, no frustration, just smooth execution. The danger of starting too soon. Jumping into work without preparation often leads to sloppy output, redoing tasks, getting stuck halfway, and quitting out of frustration. Taking 15 to 30 minutes to prepare properly saves hours down the road. Small prep, big payoff. Successful people think before they act, prepare before they begin, finish what they start. Preparation isn't wasted time. It's an investment in speed, confidence, and quality execution. Action steps. 1. Pick your next frog, the most important task on your list. 2. Take 10 to 15 minutes to gather everything you'll need. 3. Organize your space. Remove visual and digital clutter. 4. Have a clear plan before starting. Don't wing it. 5. Once ready, start immediately, and don't stop until you're done. Chapter summary. Prepare thoroughly before you begin. Preparation reduces resistance, confusion, and delay. A clean, ready workspace makes action easier and faster. Deep preparation leads to deep focus. Slow down at the start so you can speed up through the finish. Chapter 10. Take it one oil barrel at a time. You can accomplish anything if you just take it one step at a time. Brian Tracy. Main idea. The key to accomplishing big goals is breaking them down into small, manageable steps, then taking action, step by step, without worrying about the entire journey. This chapter's message is simple yet powerful. Don't get overwhelmed by the distance. Focus on the next step. The oil barrel metaphor. Brian Tracy tells the story of how travelers once crossed the vast Sahara Desert. It was over 500 miles of featureless sand. No roads, no signs, no towns. So how did they make it? Simple. Every 5 miles, there was a black oil barrel placed in the sand. Each barrel marked the way forward. The rule was, just drive to the next oil barrel. That's how they crossed the desert, not by focusing on the full 500 miles, but by reaching one marker at a time. This principle applies to any large project, goal, or challenge in life. Break it down, then take action. Big tasks feel scary. They create pressure and fear. The brain goes into avoidance mode. But when you break the task into small, doable pieces, it suddenly becomes manageable. Examples: writing a book, start with 1 page. Starting a business, begin with research. Preparing a presentation, outline 3 bullet points first. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You do it step by step, one hold at a time. Progress creates motivation. One of the best productivity hacks is progress itself. Each small step completed gives you a sense of achievement, a dopamine boost, motivation to keep going. This is called momentum, and it's built one tiny win at a time. That's why it's better to take a small action today than plan a massive one for someday. Real-world example. Building a website. Suppose you want to build a personal website, but you've never done it before. Thinking about everything at once feels overwhelming. Buying a domain, learning web design, writing content, managing SEO and analytics. But if you just focus on one step, for example, find a good domain name, Suddenly, it feels doable. Once that's done, move to the next oil barrel. Choose a website platform. Then the next. Write the homepage copy. Before you know it, the site is live. Overthinking is the enemy. Many people delay action because they're thinking too far ahead. They ask, what if I fail? What if I make mistakes? What if I don't know enough? But none of that matters right now. The only thing that matters is the next step. Overplanning leads to paralysis. Action leads to progress. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to work 10 hours in one day. Instead, work one focused hour for 10 days. That's how consistency compounds. Even if you're tired or busy, doing just one small task keeps the momentum alive. Brian Tracy often says, the hardest part of any important task is getting started. Once you're in motion, staying in motion becomes easier. Action steps. 1. Choose one frog task, something big and meaningful. 2. Break it into oil barrels, small, bite-sized actions. 3. Focus only on the next step, nothing more. 4. Do it now, even if it's just 10 minutes. 5. After completing it, repeat, step by step. Chapter summary. Take it one oil barrel at a time. Don't let the big picture overwhelm you. Focus only on the next small, clear step. Progress builds momentum. Action beats overthinking. Every great achievement starts with one tiny move forward. Chapter 11. Upgrade your key skills. The more you learn, the more you earn. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Your ability to perform at a high level in your field depends on the continuous improvement of your most important skills. The faster you learn and upgrade your key abilities, the faster you move towards success, and the easier it becomes to eat that frog. Why skill matters. You can't outperform your skill ceiling. No matter how motivated or focused you are, if you lack the core skills required for your task or profession, you'll hit a wall. Frustration builds, progress stalls, confidence fades. On the other hand, every time you improve a skill, you save time, make fewer mistakes, build momentum, earn more. Tracy emphasizes, competence breeds confidence, and confidence leads to action. Identify your key skills. Start by asking yourself, what one skill, if I developed it significantly, would have the greatest impact on my career or business? Which skills do the top performers in my field consistently excel at? These are your leverage points. Don't waste time improving everything. Focus only on what moves the needle. Examples: a content creator, writing, video editing, SEO. A salesperson, communication, negotiation, closing. A manager, delegation, planning, leadership. Improving just one critical skill can 10x your results. The 80-20 of skill development. Not all skills are created equal. Apply the 80-20 rule. 20% of the skills give you 80% of the results. Don't get caught up learning things just to feel productive. Focus on what has direct, measurable payoff in your daily work. Never stop learning. In today's fast-changing world, continuous learning is not optional. It's survival. Brian Tracy suggests becoming a do-it-to-yourself university. That means read 30 to 60 minutes every day in your field. Listen to educational audiobooks while commuting or walking. Take online courses, tutorials, or workshops. Watch top professionals and learn from their process. This habit turns wasted time into growth time. And now, real-world example, learning to present. Imagine you avoid giving presentations because you feel nervous and unskilled. But you know, strong public speakers get promoted faster and earn more. Instead of avoiding it, you decide to practice intentionally. You read books on public speaking, watch TED Talks daily, Join a speaking club like Toastmasters. Rehearse a short talk every week. In just 3 months, your confidence triples, and suddenly you're seen as a leader. That's the power of. Every expert was once a beginner. Nobody is born with high-level abilities. Everyone starts from scratch. The difference? Experts commit to improvement. Amateurs wait for inspiration. Tracy reminds us, the future belongs to the competent, and competence comes from focused, repeated practice. Don't let the learning curve stop you. The early stages of learning are the hardest. That's where most people quit. But once you cross that learning curve, things get easier, and your productivity skyrockets. Remember, everything is hard before it's easy. Action steps. 1. Identify your most valuable skill, the one that drives results. 2. Break it into sub-skills if needed. 3. Create a learning plan. Books, courses, mentors, etc. 4. Invest 30 to 60 minutes daily on improvement. 5. Apply what you learn immediately. Chapter summary. Upgrade your key skills. You can't win with outdated skills. Focus on the most impactful abilities in your field. Use the 80-20 rule to prioritize what matters. Never stop learning. Every minute compounds. Skill upgrades equals better performance plus higher confidence. Chapter 12. Leverage your special talents. You are remarkable. There is something that you can do better than anyone else. Brian Tracy. The main idea: discover and maximize your natural talents, the unique abilities you're inherently good at, to achieve higher performance and faster results. Doing what you're best at is the ultimate productivity hack. What are your special talents? Discover and maximize your natural talents, the unique abilities you're inherently good at, to achieve higher performance. Inclinations and natural abilities. These are your special talents, the things that come easier to you than to others. Some people are natural communicators. Others are gifted with numbers, creativity, organization, or problem solving. When you align your work with your strengths, time flies, productivity soars, and success feels effortless. But when you work against your natural talents, every task becomes a struggle. Find your zone of genius. Tracy encourages you to ask, what have I always been good at? What do people often compliment me on? What comes naturally to me but seems hard for others? When do I feel most alive, engaged, or in the zone? Your answers will point to your zone of genius, where your passion, natural skill, and value to others overlap. That's where you should spend most of your time and energy. Okay, why talent-driven work beats everything else. When you work in your area of strength, you're faster and better than others at similar tasks. You enjoy the process more. You experience less stress and burnout. You grow faster and go further in your career. Tracy explains that top performers focus 80% or more of their efforts on the tasks that match their natural strengths. This isn't just smart, it's strategic. Case study: the power of natural strength. Imagine 2 employees. Alex forces himself to do data analysis all day, something he dreads and isn't good at. Jamie spends most of her time presenting ideas, coaching others, and building strategies, her strong suits. Even if Alex works longer hours, Jamie will likely outperform, enjoy her job more, and rise faster. Why? She's working with her strengths, not against them. Up jobs, build on strength, not weakness. Conventional advice tells us to fix our weaknesses. Tracy disagrees. Instead, he says, double down on your strengths. You don't need to be good at everything. You just need to be exceptional at the right things. In fact, many successful people delegate or eliminate tasks that fall outside their core strengths so they can focus where they shine. Focusing on your frogs. You may notice your biggest, ugliest frogs, the most important tasks, often involve your core strengths. That's a good thing. When you align your frogs with your talents, the work becomes more engaging, and you're more likely to follow through. Action steps. 1. Identify your special talents. What are you naturally good at? 2. Ask friends, coworkers, or mentors where they think you shine. 3. Find the top 1 to 2 tasks in your job that match your core strengths. 4. Schedule more time for those tasks and eliminate or delegate the rest. 5. Use your best skills to tackle your biggest frogs. Chapter summary. Leverage your special talents. You have natural strengths. Discover and use them. Working in your strength zone leads to better results and less resistance. Top performers build careers around their unique abilities. Don't waste time fixing weaknesses. Build on what you do best. Align your frogs with your talents for faster execution and greater success. Chapter 13. Identify your key constraints. The speed at which you move toward your goal is determined by the major constraint in your path. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Every goal has a bottleneck, one factor that slows everything else down. Your job is to identify and eliminate that limiting factor to unlock speed and results. What's holding you back? You might be working hard. You might be highly motivated. But if there's one key thing blocking progress, all your effort gets trapped behind it. This is your key constraint, the one element that, if removed, will make everything else flow faster. It could be a skill you haven't developed yet, a decision you're avoiding, a resource you lack, a fear or belief that's holding you back, or even someone on your team who's not aligned. Finding and fixing this bottleneck can often double or triple your productivity overnight. The 80-20 of problems. Tracy teaches that 80% of the time, the real constraint is internal, something inside you. A habit, a lack of knowledge, low confidence, poor self-discipline. Only 20% of the time is the constraint external, like tools, money, or people. That means you have far more control over your progress than you think. Your biggest roadblock is usually something you can fix once you're honest enough to name it. Remove the bottleneck. Unlock progress. Let's say you're stuck at work. You're overwhelmed and behind schedule. Instead of just working harder, you step back and ask, what's the one thing slowing everything else down? You realize your lack of clarity about the task is creating confusion. Once you clarify the project's scope with your manager, suddenly everything moves faster. Productivity isn't just doing more. It's about removing whatever's slowing you down the most. How to identify your key constraint? Ask yourself, what is holding me back from reaching my goal? 2. If I could wave a magic wand and fix one thing, what would it be? 3. What skill, habit, or system, if improved, would speed up my entire workflow? 4. Is the block inside me or outside of me? Be brutally honest. The faster you identify the bottleneck, the faster you can remove it, and the faster you'll succeed. Real-life example, the career bottleneck. Imagine a young manager struggling to get promoted. He works late, finishes tasks, and stays loyal to the company, but he's stuck. After feedback, he realizes his constraint is communication. He avoids difficult conversations, struggles to present ideas clearly, and doesn't speak up in meetings. That's his bottleneck. Once he focuses on building confidence and public speaking skills, his progress skyrockets. One skill made the difference. That's the power of finding you. You can't fix what you don't see. Too many people work around their bottleneck instead of through it. They hope that effort will make the problem disappear. But Tracy makes it clear. You must face your constraint directly and remove it quickly. Like removing a log jam from a river. Everything flows once the main blockage is gone. Action steps. 1. Write down your number one goal right now. 2. Ask, what's the main thing preventing me from achieving it faster? 3. Identify whether the constraint is internal or external. 4. Break it down into small, fixable steps. 5. Work on it daily until the bottleneck disappears. Chapter summary. Identify your key constraints. Every goal has one limiting factor, your constraint. 80% of the time, the constraint is internal. Identify the bottleneck honestly and early. Removing it creates instant momentum. Focus your effort where it removes friction the fastest. Work. Chapter 14. Put the pressure on yourself. Only about 2% of people can work entirely without supervision. We call these people leaders. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Highly productive people don't wait for deadlines, bosses, or pressure from outside. They create their own pressure by setting ambitious goals, clear deadlines, and personal accountability. This is the chapter where you stop waiting and start pushing yourself forward with self-discipline. Become your own boss. Tracy points out that in most jobs, especially in today's world, no one is going to force you to succeed. The people who achieve the most are the ones who set their own standards, demand excellence from themselves, finish early, not just on time, don't need reminders or supervision. These are the people who lead, not because they're in charge, but because they act like they are. If you want to rise above average, you have to be your own boss, even if you woe. Pressure builds progress. Let's face it, we often perform better under pressure. Think about deadlines that force you to focus, public speaking events that push you to prepare, big projects that sharpen your mind. But here's the key. You don't have to wait for that pressure to come from outside. You can create it internally by setting challenges that demand your full attention and effort. This is how top performers work. They say, I will finish this by noon. Not because I have to, but because I said I would. Set short-term pressure goals. One of Tracy's best techniques is to break your tasks into mini deadlines. For example, I'll finish this outline in 30 minutes. I'll make 10 sales calls before 3 p.m. I'll review all emails by 10 a.m. sharp. These self-imposed limits create the urgency your brain needs to focus and execute. You're not just working, you're working with intention. Over time, this builds discipline, speed, and strength. Be a doer, not a drifter. Many people wait. Wait for motivation, wait for the boss to assign something, wait for the right time to act. But those who win in life don't wait, they start. Brian Tracy encourages you to act like everything depends on you, because in many ways, it does. This mindset gives you control, power, and forward momentum. Real-life example, the self-starter. Picture two freelancers. One waits for the client to give reminders, follows up late, and finishes just in time. The other sets internal deadlines, drafts ready in 24 hours, revisions turned around in 6. She works faster, earns trust, and builds a reputation. Guess who gets more referrals and repeat business? Exactly. The one who puts pressure on herself. Train like an athlete. Elite athletes don't just train during the big games. They push themselves daily in practice, setting higher and higher standards. You can apply the same principle in your work. Beat your own records, compete with your previous performance, track your output, and improve it weekly. This habit turns ordinary professionals into extraordinary performers. This action steps put the pressure on. 1. Set your own deadlines. Don't wait for someone to give you one. 2. Break tasks into smaller, timed chunks. 3. Challenge yourself. Aim to beat your best. 4. Hold yourself accountable. Reward results, not just effort. 5. Visualize the reward of getting things done early and well. Chapter summary. Put the pressure on yourself. Top achievers don't wait for pressure. They create it. Set internal deadlines and short-term performance goals. Be your own boss. Lead yourself. Build self-discipline by competing with your past performance. This mindset builds confidence, consistency, and long-term success. End. Chapter 15. Maximize your personal powers. The more you take care of your body and mind, the better you'll perform. In everything. Brian Tracy. Main idea. Your productivity isn't just about time management. It's also about energy management. To perform at your best, you must protect and increase your physical, mental, and emotional energy. This chapter is about making sure you, the person behind the work, are strong, sharp, and ready every day. Word sum. You can't eat your frog if you're always tired, stressed, or burned out. Tracy reminds us that you can't give your best effort if you're running on empty. Your brain, like your body, needs fuel, rest, and renewal. Consistent high performance comes from taking care of yourself first. Your energy levels control your ability to focus, make decisions, handle pressure, stay motivated, finish strong. So, managing your energy well is as important as health equals productivity. Here are the 3 core areas to build and protect your personal power. 1. Physical health. Eat well. Nutritious food keeps your brain sharp. Exercise regularly. Even 20 minutes a day can improve clarity and reduce stress. Sleep deeply. A tired brain is slow, distracted, and forgetful. A healthy body supports a high-performing mind. When your energy is high, everything feels easier. Mental focus. Your brain needs rest just like your body does. Take short breaks throughout the day. Avoid mental multitasking. It drains focus fast. Use strategies like the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes focus, 5 minutes break. Give your brain recovery time, and it will reward you with clearer thinking and better results. 3. Emotional well-being. Your emotions fuel your actions. When you're calm, confident, and focused, you work faster and better. Practice gratitude. Minimize toxic stress. Spend time with positive people. Don't let small problems steal your emotional energy. Your mood can multiply or destroy your momentum. Protect your emotional balance like it's gold. And work with your natural rhythms. Everyone has peak performance times. Hours of the day when their mind is sharper and energy is higher. For most people, this is in the morning. For some, it's late afternoon. The key is to schedule your most important work during these peak times, especially your frog task. Stop forcing yourself to work against your own biology. Work with it. Invest in your capacity. Brian Tracy compares your energy to a bank account. If you constantly withdraw without making deposits, you burn out, you lose clarity, you hit productivity plateaus. So, make daily deposits by eating healthy meals, moving your body, sleeping enough, reading or learning new skills, spending time in peace and nature. Every small improvement compounds into long-term personal power. Action steps maximize your personal powers. 1. Identify your peak energy time and schedule your FRON for that window. 2. Prioritize sleep, exercise, and nutrition. 3. Avoid multitasking. Focus on one big task at a time. 4. Take breaks throughout your day to recharge. 5. Track your energy levels and adjust your routine to optimize them. Chapter Summary. Maximize your personal powers. Your energy levels directly affect your productivity. High energy comes from good physical health, clear mental focus, and emotional strength. Schedule your toughest tasks during your natural peak hours. Take care of yourself so you can perform at your best consistently. Managing your energy well is the secret weapon of top performers. Chapter 16. Motivate yourself into action. You become what you think about most of the time. Brian Tracy. Main idea. If you want to achieve more, you have to learn how to motivate yourself from within, regardless of your mood, environment, or circumstances. Winners don't wait for inspiration. They create it. This chapter focuses on building mental discipline, the ability to think positively, stay driven, and take action even when you don't feel like it. Why self-motivation is everything. You can have the best plans, goals, and systems in place, but if you don't have the internal drive to act on them, nothing happens. Brian Tracy emphasizes, discipline is a muscle, and you can train it daily. Motivation comes from motion, not the other way around. You are in charge of your own attitude, energy, and choices. Waiting to feel ready is the fastest path to procrastination. Control your inner dialogue. The most powerful words you'll ever hear are the ones you say to yourself. Tracy recommends, talk to yourself positively and confidently. Repeat affirmations like, I can do this. I take action immediately. I am focused and productive. Your inner voice creates your outer behavior. Feed it strength, not doubt. Visualize success. See yourself as someone who finishes tasks on time, takes bold action, doesn't wait around, stays calm under pressure. The more clearly you visualize your best self, the easier it becomes to act like that person. This mental picture becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Action, motivation, more action. One of the biggest myths is that motivation comes first. In reality, 1. You take a small action. 2. That action builds momentum. 3. Momentum creates motivation. It's the classic productivity truth. Don't wait to feel motivated. Get moving, and motivation will follow. Build momentum one step at a time. Here's how to keep your motivation high daily. 1. Start immediately on your top task. No delay. 2. Break big tasks into smaller steps. Each step fuels confidence. 3. Celebrate progress. Even small wins release dopamine. 4. Avoid perfectionism. Done is better than perfect. Each small action makes the next one easier and your frog less intimidating. Motivational tools you can use. Quotes and reminders. Keep inspiring messages visible in your workspace. Accountability partners. Share your goals with someone who checks in. Progress tracking. Use a journal, app, or checklist to record your wins. Rewards. Promise yourself something enjoyable once a task is complete. Use whatever works to keep your engine running, especially on low-energy days. Abide by this principle. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. This phrase, repeated often enough, will create urgency, kill procrastination, rewire your brain to act instead of delay. Repeat it until it becomes your instinctive response. Action steps. Motivate yourself into action. 1. Speak to yourself positively throughout the day. 2. Use the phrase, do it now, to create urgency. 3. Start with small actions to build momentum. 4. Visualize your success and stay emotionally connected to your goals. 5. Set up reminders, rewards, and accountability to stay consistent. Chapter summary. Motivate yourself into action. Motivation doesn't come first, action does. Train your inner voice to be strong, focused, and encouraging. Visualize your best self and act like that person. Use momentum, small wins, and daily habits to keep your fire alive. You are the source of your own motivation. Tap into it daily. Chapter 17. Get out of the technological time sinks. Technology is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Brian Tracy. Main idea. In today's digital world, technology is the biggest thief of time and attention. If you're not intentional, your smartphone, social media, notifications, and email will control your day, not your goals. This chapter teaches you how to avoid digital distractions and regain control over your time and focus. The digital trap. Technology was meant to save us time, and in some ways, it has. But ironically, most people are more distracted and less productive than ever. Think about it. Constant phone pings, emails every few minutes, social media scrolling, news alerts, text messages, app notifications. All these things interrupt your deep focus, which is essential for completing your biggest tasks, your frogs. Brian Tracy's message is clear: unplug to perform. The cost of distraction. Every time you're interrupted, your brain needs time to refocus. Studies show it can take 10 to 20 minutes to regain full concentration after a single distraction. If you're checking your phone every 10 minutes, you're never fully focused. And without focus, you can't tackle your most important work. What you must eliminate or limit. 1. Social media. Use it intentionally, not impulsively. Set limits or schedule time slots. For example, 15 minutes in the evening. 2. Emails. Don't check email constantly. Try 2 to 3 specific times per day to process emails in batches. 3. Phone notifications. Turn off all non-essential alerts. Put your phone on silent or do not disturb mode while working. 4. Multitasking. It's a myth. You're not doing more, you're doing everything worse. Focus on one task at a time for better results. Strategies to reclaim your time. 1. Digital declutter. Uninstall apps that waste time. Clean up your desktop, folders, and notifications. 2. Time blocking. Block out specific hours for focused work and stick to it. During this time, go offline, close browsers, mute phone. 3. Use technology to work for you. Use productivity apps that help you track time and reduce distractions. Tools like Pomodoro timers or website blockers, signature: freedom, cold turkey. 4. Create a power environment. Clear your physical and digital workspace. Remove all distractions before starting your frog. Overlooking. Technology is a tool, not a toy. Brian Tracy reminds us that discipline is the difference maker. Top performers use technology to get more done, not to escape from doing. If you're serious about success, you must master your tech, not be mastered by it. Action steps. Get out of the tech time traps. 1. Turn off non-critical notifications. 2. Check emails and messages at scheduled times only. 3. Block out distraction-free time for deep work. 4. Use apps that support focus, not steal it. 5. Unplug regularly. Even 60 minutes of tech-free time can reset your brain. Chapter summary. Get out of the technological time sinks. Technology can boost or break your productivity. Constant distractions destroy your ability to focus on high-value tasks. Turn off alerts, schedule email time, and avoid multitasking. Use tech intentionally to support your goals, not sabotage them. Reclaim your time, attention, and mental clarity by disconnecting regularly. Chapter 18. Slice and dice the task. Any task, no matter how big, can be conquered if you break it down into small enough pieces. Brian Tracy. Main idea. One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to break large, overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable pieces. Brian Tracy calls this the slice and dice technique, and it's a proven method to help you start fast and keep moving. Instead of being paralyzed by the size of a project, you learn to break it into bite-sized steps you can handle immediately. The problem: task overwhelm. We often procrastinate not because we're lazy, but because the task feels too complex, too time-consuming, too emotionally draining, or simply too big to start. Your brain sees this task as a mountain, and naturally, it resists climbing. The key is to slice that mountain into pebbles. The solution: slice and dice it. Brian Tracy offers 2 specific techniques. 1. The salami slice method. Imagine the task is a big salami. Slice it into thin, single-action tasks. Do just one slice at a time, even if it's only 5 to 10 minutes. Once you complete one, you'll feel motivated to do the next. Example, writing a report. Slice, create outline, gather research, write intro, add stats, edit, finalize. 2. The Swiss cheese method. Just punch a hole in the task. Do any small part of it for 5 to 10 minutes. You don't commit to finishing it. You just start. Once the hole is punched, your mental resistance fades. Why this works. Psychological momentum. Small wins make the task feel achievable. Reduced mental load. Breaking things down reduces anxiety and builds clarity. Builds confidence. You prove to yourself that you're capable of handling it. As Tracy says, every big task begins with a single small step. Take that step now. How to slice any task effectively. Here's how to apply this in real life. 1. Define the big task. Write it down clearly. Launch blog. Clean garage. Prepare presentation. 2. List out all the small steps. Break the task into 10, 20, or even 30 micro-tasks. Example. Task. Launch blog. Slices. Choose topic, pick platform, design logo, write intro post, schedule launch. 3. Start with one slice. Pick the easiest slice and start immediately, even if it's only 5 minutes. 4. Track progress. Check off slices as you go. Every checkmark gives your brain a dopamine boost. 1. Use time blocks to slice further. You can also slice tasks by time rather than by action. For example, I'll work on this for just 10 minutes. I'll do this for 1 Pomodoro, 25 minutes. Setting a timer creates a natural slice and removes pressure to finish it all in one go. Avoid the all-or-nothing trap. One of the biggest reasons for delay is thinking, I don't have time to do the whole thing, so I'll wait. But success doesn't require massive action all at once. It requires consistent, small action over time. Even one slice a day moves you forward. Action steps: slice and dice the task. 1. Take your biggest frog and break it into the smallest pieces possible. 2. Use the salami slice method for sequential actions. 3. Use the Swiss cheese method for random small chunks. 4. Start immediately. Commit to just one slice or 10 minutes. 5. Track your progress and celebrate small wins. Avoid the all-or-nothing trap. One of the biggest reasons for delay is thinking, I don't have time to do the whole thing, so I'll wait. Chapter summary: slice and dice the task. Big tasks can feel overwhelming and trigger procrastination. Break them into tiny parts using salami slice or Swiss cheese techniques. Start with small actions. Build confidence and momentum. Progress is made in slices, not in one giant leap. Action kills anxiety. Slicing tasks makes action easier. Chapter 19. Create large chunks of time. The key to success is not in working harder, but in working smarter, in focused, uninterrupted time blocks. Brian Tracy. Main idea: to make real progress on your biggest goals, you must schedule large, uninterrupted blocks of time. Scattered minutes and multitasking aren't enough. Major tasks, your frogs, require deep focus, which only happens when you protect time specifically for them. The problem: fragmented time. Most people approach work reactively, checking emails constantly, answering messages as they come, working in 5 to 10-minute bursts, jumping between tasks and meetings. This creates a day full of motion but lacking true progress. Tracy emphasizes, your most important work demands full attention over extended periods, not short spurts. The myth of finding time. You'll never find time. You have to make time. If you wait for a free moment to work on your goals, that moment rarely arrives. Instead, You must proactively block out time, like scheduling a meeting with yourself and treating it as non-negotiable. How to create large time chunks. 1. Identify your frog time. Ask, when are you at your mental best? Morning? Afternoon? Block that time for your highest priority task. 2. Plan in advance. Use a planner or digital calendar to block 60 to 90-minute work sessions. Protect that time fiercely. No calls, no emails, no interruptions. 3. Batch similar tasks. Group related tasks together and complete them in one session. For example, writing scripts, editing audio, responding to emails. 4. Say no to non-essentials. If it doesn't move you toward your biggest goals, don't let it fill your schedule. Learn to say no to time-wasting requests and interruptions. The power of rhythm. When you work in large blocks consistently, you enter a flow state, a rhythm where your brain works faster, more creatively, and with better results. Tracy notes that top performers often block multiple 90-minute sessions daily. Focus deeply without distractions. Take breaks between sessions to reset and recharge. This cycle builds momentum, leading to higher productivity and less stress. Benefits of time blocking. Eliminates stress from last-minute work. Builds confidence through consistent progress. Deepens your focus and improves quality. Reduces wasted time from task switching. Gives you time to think clearly and creatively. In short, focused time creates powerful outcomes. Action plan. Create large chunks of time. 1. Choose your highest focus time of day and claim it for your frog. 2. Block at least one 60 to 90-minute session each workday. 3. Protect this time. No meetings, no calls, no checking messages. 4. Use this time only for high-value tasks, not busy work. 5. Repeat this process daily to build habit and momentum. Chapter summary. Create large chunks of time. You need focused, uninterrupted blocks to make real progress. Don't try to fit in important tasks. Schedule time for them. Protect your best mental hours for your biggest frogs. Batch tasks, say no to distractions, and get into a productive rhythm. Time blocking is one of the smartest strategies used by top achievers. Chapter 20. Develop a sense of urgency. Success comes to those who act quickly and decisively. Brian Tracy. Main idea. One of the most important traits of high performers is their sense of urgency, the inner drive to move fast, take action, and get results without procrastinating. When you develop this mindset, you turn ideas into action and plans into results fast. The enemy, delayed action. Many people know what they need to do, but they delay. They say things like, "I'll do it later. I need more time to think. I'm waiting for the right moment." The result? Missed opportunities, slow progress, and wasted time. Brian Tracy explains that taking action quickly is often more important than perfect planning. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. The power of momentum. When you take fast action, something powerful happens. You build momentum. Just like a train starts slow but gains speed, your energy increases as you act. You feel more motivated, more confident, and more in control. Fast movers get more done and stay ahead. Top achievers in every field share this quality. They make decisions quickly. They start tasks immediately. They stay in motion. Act now, think later, sometimes. Planning is important, but many people use planning as a way to avoid starting. Tracy warns against paralysis by analysis. Instead, aim for 80% preparation, 20% action. Then adjust and improve as you go. Start moving and refine along the way. How to develop a sense of urgency. 1. Set clear deadlines. Give yourself a strict deadline, even if no one else does. For example, I will complete this by 4 p.m. today. 2. Take immediate action. As soon as you identify a high-priority task, start it immediately, even if it's just the first 5 minutes. 3. Avoid perfectionism. Focus on starting, not perfecting. You can't improve something that doesn't exist yet. 4. Create a bias for action. Make "do it now" your motto. Ask, what is the one thing I can act on right now? 5. Eliminate excuses. Replace thoughts like "I'll start tomorrow" with "I'll take the first step now." Real-world example. Entrepreneurs who act quickly on business ideas, even without full certainty, often succeed faster than those who overthink. The market rewards speed and execution, not just big ideas. Whether it's launching a product, applying for a job, or starting a fitness goal, those who act fast. Mindset shift. Urgency is a habit. A sense of urgency is not something you're born with. It's a learned behavior, a habit that develops over time. Each time you push yourself to act immediately, you strengthen that habit. Eventually, fast action becomes your default. Action plan: develop urgency now. 1. Decide to act immediately on your most important task today. 2. Set a deadline, then start the task without delay. 3. Use a timer or countdown to trigger quick action. 4. Reward yourself when you complete a task fast. 5. Repeat this every day until urgency becomes automatic. Chapter summary. Develop a sense of urgency. Fast action beats slow perfection. Momentum builds motivation. The faster you move, the easier it gets. Create urgency by setting deadlines and starting tasks right away. Stop waiting. Start now. Success belongs to those who take decisive, immediate action. Chapter 21. Single-handle every task. Once you start your most important task, discipline yourself to stay with it until it's complete. Brian Tracy. Main idea. High performers don't just start important tasks. They finish them in one go. This is called single-handling, and it's one of the most powerful productivity habits you can develop. Why we struggle to finish things? Most people start a task, get distracted, jump to something else, come back later, or forget it entirely. This stop-start behavior kills momentum, increases mental fatigue, and reduces quality. Each time you switch tasks, you lose time and energy. Brian Tracy explains that when you focus deeply on one thing at a time, you become faster, sharper, more productive. Think like a woodcutter. Imagine chopping down a tree. If you swing your axe at one tree over and over without stopping, you'll bring it down. But if you swing once, walk away, try another tree, and then come back, you waste time and energy. Single-handling means sticking with one tree until it falls. The power of completion. There's a special kind of motivation that only comes from finishing something. Each time you complete a task, your brain releases dopamine. You feel satisfied and confident. You build momentum for the next task. The more you finish, the more you want to finish. Benefits of single-handling. Saves time. No rereading, no replanning. Reduces stress. You're not juggling. Improves quality. You're fully present. Boosts confidence. You see results fast. It's not just about being busy. It's about being effective. Real-life example. A top sales executive once told Tracy that his secret was simple. I make one list every day, and I don't move to the next task until the one before it is done completely. That's single-handling in action. Whether it's writing a report, making calls, or preparing for a meeting, block distractions, shut out multitasking, and stay locked in until you finish. How to practice single-handling. 1. Identify your most valuable task. Ask, if I could only finish one task today that would make the biggest difference, what would it be? 2. Prepare everything in advance. Clear your desk, gather your materials, and eliminate distractions before you begin. 3. Start immediately. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Begin now. 4. Work without interruption. Turn off notifications. Put your phone away. Use a timer, like the Pomodoro technique if needed. 5. Don't stop until it's done. Discipline yourself. Even if it gets boring or hard, push through. Mindset shift. Completion is king. Most people measure productivity by how much they start. Successful people measure it by how much they finish. Brian Tracy reminds us, starting something important but not finishing it is the same as not doing it at all. Action plan. Single handle today. 1. Choose your number 1 priority task right now. 2. Schedule uninterrupted time to complete it. 3. Prepare your space. Remove distractions. 4. Start and stay. No switching, no checking. 5. Complete the task fully, then celebrate the win. Chapter summary. Single handle every task. Multitasking is a myth. Focus wins. The ability to finish one important task at a time is the key to peak productivity. Start strong. Stay focused and finish fully. Completion builds momentum, confidence, and results.